Here's a super simple summer landscape idea. Let's do the background a little different today. For the sunset, I'm going to do a dark yellow and a bright yellow with my mop brush. I'm just doing back and forth strokes a little over halfway down my canvas. I'm using 12 by 12 textured cardstock. And then without washing the brush, let's take a bright green instead of blue. Let's make the water look green. This is going to look more of like a natural swampy landscape, which is just a little different. I'm going to blend it into my yellow while it's still wet. And while I'm going down to the bottom of the canvas, I'm even going to take some of the yellow and blend that in as well. Notice that I have the green going up slightly further on the right-hand side than on the left. And while the green is still wet, take a small round brush with some white paint, and I'm just going to do a slight reflection, a couple little back and forth strokes over here on this right-hand side. We're going to pretend that's where the sun, or even it could be the moon, reflecting on the water. Let's bring it down here into the green. If you get too much, don't worry, you can just go back in and blend it in with some more of the same colors. And there we go, that's the background. Make sure you dry it. And this is going to be a type of silhouette painting, so grab another round brush with some black paint. Let's paint a few islands for our trees. This is going to be a tiny island, just kind of juts out here from the right-hand side. Notice I have it about an inch above where my green stops. And then let's even do one on the left-hand corner to balance it out. Let's do a little jut out here and have it go off the bottom of the picture. Super simple. Now, landscapes also aren't perfectly flat, so I cleaned off my mop brush and took some black paint. Let's just bounce a little bit of that along the top edge of each of the islands to give the impression of some little bits of greenery or grass. So I did that over here on the right, and then also some down here on the left. It's up to you how detailed you make it. I just kept it super simple, and don't worry, if you accidentally get texture into your sky or your water, you can just fix it up with more paint like I did here. Now, the reason why I'm doing this painting is I want to test these new brushes. They are actually nail art brushes, the super tiny liners that they use on manicure designs. It's hard to find a good detail brush that can do really tiny, fine details, so I figured we already use makeup brushes to paint in a lot of my painting. Let's try nail art brushes too. So here's the test. I'm going to do some simple trees. And right away, I can tell you they are perfect for doing fine lines. In fact, almost too perfect. I struggled to get the trunks of my trees thick enough. But for the branches, they were perfect, especially the teeny tiny branches out towards the ends. When you're doing your trees, just remember, pull up from the ground. Your tree trunks don't have to be perfectly straight. Notice mine's coming off to the right here. And then with your branches, just make sure there's some form of a V shape coming off. It can be any different angle, but just don't have them coming out perfectly straight. Also, for fine lines, when you're loading your brush, it helps to roll the brush out. See, I'm turning the brush out to a point. That helps put the bristles into a pointed shape as you go. Let's also do some longer and taller trees coming out on this island on the left. Now, with this painting, your tree trunks and branches don't have to be perfect, so don't worry if you don't have a nail art brush to use or aren't the best with trees. Most of it's going to get covered, but that's why I thought this painting would be a good test. Because these are taller trees, I wish it was a little easier to get thicker trunks, but that's okay because I'm getting my fine lines, and you can just keep going over the trunk and making it thicker. This gives you a little bit more control. However, I would suggest practicing using a round brush with a really fine point too, because you can do thick and thin lines with a brush like that versus this one where you have to put in a bit more work to get the thicker lines. I so far absolutely love these for the tiny little branches. Definitely my favorite detail brushes I've tried so far. So there's my trees. Now grab a fan brush. Let's grab some black paint on here. Remember I said most of our trees are going to get covered? This is a type of tree you see out in nature. It's not quite an evergreen tree. It's not going to be a Christmas tree. But notice I have the brush turned horizontally, and I'm just tapping it up the branches, not all the way, but I'm doing little shelves of a leafy texture. So you don't have to cover all of your trunks and all of your branches. Just do little sections of it. When you get up to the top of them, you can turn it vertically and do a little tap for the tip. You also don't want too much paint on your brush, so I loaded it up and I'm just doing light taps to get that texture and also have some of the background still peeking through. You don't want it to turn into one giant black blob. Notice all these trees also aren't going perfectly straight up and down. The ones on the right are leaning that direction over the water. So don't be afraid to have some of your leafy texture going off your branch. They don't all have to be touching a branch or a trunk. They can be kind of coming off of it like that. See, I'm gonna tap some going all the way out here, almost into the middle of my green. There we go. Now for this tree up on the right, I'm gonna do a slightly different style. Very little paint on the brush. I'm actually gonna turn it different directions, almost make it look radial. See, I'm turning it as I go, having it always point out like a different type of tree. I'm gonna have it sometimes horizontally and up towards the tip, have it turned out towards the top. And there's our silhouette. Now I want to tie in the green from the water, so I cleaned off my fan brush and I'm taking some of the bright green with some dark green. It's okay if your black is still wet for this, but tap in a few light taps of this green into the black. This way, especially if you got some really big black sections, you can break it up, but don't cover the black completely because it acts like a shadow layer, giving it a really cool effect. Let's do the same thing to this tree up here on the right. Again, very little paint on this one because it's a different style tree and further away from us, but add a little bit of a pop of green in there as well. Love it. Now something else you can do is add a fence along the bottom. I feel like we need something to ground this painting. So I'm taking a size 5 flat brush and with some black paint doing a few fence posts coming up from the bottom of my canvas. They don't all have to be spaced out evenly or perfectly straight, but use the flat edge of your flat brush to your advantage to make these nice and straight and squared at the top. I'm going to do a few going all the way across to the right-hand side. And then for the crossbars going straight across, I'm going to try one of the liner brushes, which worked perfectly. Again, almost too perfectly. This may be more of those fences that's like an electric fence or a thin wire because they're actually too thin to be a thicker board. Just another type of style. I love these brushes for thin lines. And because we added highlights to the trees, let's take some white and add some highlights to the fence. And then with the flat brush, let's take some white, mix it with a little bit of black. Since these dried, we don't want them to turn pure white, but just do one little brush stroke across each of them to add that highlight coming down from the top. Looks like the moon is almost shining on it, which, speaking of, we do need a moon or a sun, whatever you decide. I'm going to use pure white for this mixed with a tiny bit of yellow. I really want it to stand out. Press down and pull up like a stamp. And final, most crucial step, let's add some birds, trying these fine line brushes. This is the 4mm one. And again, they are perfect for these. Look how teeny tiny those birds are. Now, I'm using very little pressure. Pretend you are tickling the canvas for this. But with light pressure, you can make them super tiny. I'm gonna do a whole flock. Let's even do a teeny tiny one over here. That's amazing. I love it. And there's a super simple landscape painting idea. If you try this one, I'd love to see how it turns out. And if you've ever used nail art brushes for painting detail, I'd love to hear your experience. So far, I think they're going to be a game changer when painting fall trees and those teeny tiny detail branches. So have fun and happy painting, everybody.